Hello and welcome to the USA Breaking News on 22nd June 2026. Rwandan UK Prime Minister and Labour Party leader Keir Starmer has announced his resignation following weeks of mounting political pressure, marking a dramatic turning point in British politics. Starmer confirmed on June 22nd, 2026 that he is stepping down from both roles, saying the decision was made in the national interest to allow a new leader to take charge during a critical period for the country. He said his time in office focused on party reform and national progress, citing efforts in economic stability, national security, and internal governance. Starmer also pledged to support a smooth transition of power. In a personal note, he thanked his wife, Victoria Starmer, for her support throughout his leadership, adding that he now intends to focus on family life. His resignation follows months of political pressure linked to multiple controversies, including scrutiny over the appointment of Peter Mandelson as UK ambassador to the United States, despite the concern over his past association with Jeffrey Epstein, although Starmer defended the appointment, claiming he had been misled about the extent of Mandelson's connection. Lawmakers remained unconvinced and the criticism intensified in the parliament. Public confidence in his leadership fell weakened after Labour poor performance in local election in May 2026 amid growing dissatisfaction over living cost and immigration policy challenges. A senior minister, including Yvette Cooper, Shaban Mahmoud, and Eddie Miliband were among those reportedly urging him to resign in recent weeks. Before making his announcement public, Starmer informed the King Charles in accordance with constitutional protocol following his departure. Andy Burnham is widely seen as the frontrunner to lead the Labour Party and potentially become the next Prime Minister after recent political resurgence and senior government experience. The resignation set the stage for a major leadership contest and a period of uncertainty in UK politics and sensitive national movements. Kinshasa, the Ministry of Health of the Democratic Republic of Congo, has announced a sharp rise in cases of Ebola viruses diseases, reporting a total of 1,003 confirmed infections and 254 deaths as of June 20, 2026, according to the ministry. The outbreak linked to Bundibujo strain of Ebola virus disease continue to heavily impact several regions, with the highest concentration of cases recorded in Ituri province, which alone accounts for 916 infections and 205 deaths. In North Kivu province, authorities have recorded 84 cases, including 48 fatalities, while South Kivu province has reported 3 cases, including 1 death. Health officials noted that no new cases have been recorded in South Kivu since May 26, though surveillance efforts remain active to prevent further spread. As of June 20, 365 patients were still receiving treatments in isolation units, while 100 people had recovered and been discharged back to their communities. The ministry also reported that the overall fatality rate stands at 25.3%, with North Kivu experiencing the highest mortality rate at 57.1%, raising concern among health responders. Officials further warned that contact tracing efforts have weakened, with only 58% of identified contacts being actively followed up, complicating containment efforts. While no neighboring country has reported confirmed spread of his outbreak, Uganda has recently recorded 19 cases in Kampala, including 2 deaths, according to a regional health updates. Health authorities across the region continue to heighten surveillance as concerns grow over cross-border transmission risks. USA and Iran reached framework deal after high-stake talks in Switzerland. A negotiation from the United States and Iran have concluded the first phase of high-level talks, agreeing on a broad principle aimed at reaching a final deal with 16 days, according to mediators involved in the discussions. The negotiation held in Switzerland at hotel well described as a tense from the outset, with the regional and security concerns shaping the opening atmosphere. A joint statement issued by mediator Qatar and Pakistan confirmed that both sides agreed on framework of principle to guide the next phase of talks, which will focus on the technical details in the coming weeks. The discussion were launched with participation from USA officials, led by Vice President Jade Vance, building on temporary agreement signed on June 17 that aimed to extend 16 days ceasefire-style diplomatic window. Tensions were high ahead of the talks, with reports of renewed friction over the status of the Strait of Hormuz, as Iranian officials warned of disruption in the waterway, while USA President Donald Trump signaled potential military action if escalation continues. Despite the tension, both sides reportedly agreed on measures to de-escalate regional conflicts, including efforts to reduce hostilities in Lebanon and improve maritime communication to ensure safe passage for commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said in social media statement that Tehran has regained certain rights to export oil, including the partial release of previously frozen assets, and has begun steps towards reconstruction and economic recovery. The next round of technical negotiations is expected to continue in Switzerland in the coming days as the diplomats work under pressure to convert the fragile agreement into a formal long-term deal. Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, a ruling Prosperity Party, has secured a dominant victory in a parliament election, winning 408 seats in the country's House of People's Representative, according to officials. The result announced on June 21st. The country's National Election Board of Ethiopia, National Election Board, confirmed that the party led by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed captured nearly 19% of contested seats, comfortably surpassing the 274 seats threshold need for clear parliament majority out of the 547 total seats in the legislature. Several constituencies did not hold election, particularly in a conflict affected the regions. Authorities reported that no voting took place in part of Tigray region, and limited electoral activity was recorded in a section of Amhara region due to the ongoing security challenges. Sporadic conflict was also reported in part of Oromia region, further affecting the electoral process. The Prosperity Party formed in 2019 after Abiy Ahmed came to power in 2018 following mass protests calling for political reform, has now consolidated its political dominance with another overwhelming victory. The election results come against the backdrop of president instability in several regions, with authorities citing security concerns and armed clashes as a key reasons for disrupted voting in parts of the country. In the previous election cycle, the ruling party also secured about 19% of contested seats, reinforcing its strong grip on Ethiopia's political landscape amid ongoing debates over democratic space and regional security. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.